It only takes 1 to 3 good editing clients to hit 10k a month. And most editors won't believe this, but the skills and effort that it takes to charge $300 to $500 a video is pretty much the exact same to charge 1 to 3,000 per video. If we haven't met, my name's Sayeef. I've scaled past 10k a month with editing myself, and I've helped hundreds of other editors get more clients and be able to scale to a similar point. What's important is that you do the math for what you need to charge to hit your income goals and charge accordingly. So in this video, I'm going to share how to raise your prices so that you can actually hit that 10k a month in a way that you're not doing hundreds of videos. Step 1 to this process is we need to do what's called a financial model. And I learned this from a mentor. His name's Jeremy. He does about $2.5 million a month. And he finds it absolutely ridiculous when you have people who are trying to grow a business and they're trying to scale, but they don't even know what it would take in order for them to hit their income goals. So let's do it ourselves. If we wanted to hit, let's say, 10,000 every single month, what does that actually look like in terms of work we need to do and the inputs required? For example, we could do that by having 10 videos at $1,000. We could do that by having 4 videos at $2,500. We could do it by having 2 videos at $5,000. We could technically do it with 1 video at $10,000. Now, the funny thing is, I have seen all of these done. In fact, my first time I hit $10,000 a month, it was December 2022. It was a month before I turned 18. I actually did it through $250 videos. And I don't even remember how many I did. It was like 40 or 50. It was ridiculous. But I did a fuck ton of $250 videos. Now, the reason being, I was on a team. I think it was a 20 million subscriber channel when I was working with them. They have about 40 million now. But they had so many uploads going out where they had a ton of editors on the team. And we were expected to do 2 videos every single week. Now, I came onto this team, and because I was just an efficiency hound, I was a freak, I learned how to automate and just optimize my workflow to the point where I took this 2 video a week expectation and actually started doing 6+ a week. Usually, I'd be more around 8 to 10 a week. So what that meant is, because I was getting these videos done in 30 minutes, 60 minutes, when most people were taking 3 to 4 days, I was able to hit my 10k a month by charging $250 a video. Now, from the people that I've coached, so the last like 10 to 15 people that have gone to 10k a month in the last 6 months or so, I have found more and more reliably, people are in this $1,000 to $10,000 per video range. If you're watching this, you're probably already able to charge $200, $400, $500, $600 a video. The thing is, the skill difference it takes to go from there to around $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a video, it isn't huge. It's just the difference in how you actually sell. This video is not about that. In fact, we'll talk a little bit about it, but step 1 is you need to understand what it actually looks like to hit 10,000 a month, because we only have 2 levers to actually choose how much we make. Your editing income can be given by a super simple formula, especially in this business model, which is super simple. It's just how much you charge on average. So basically prices multiplied by how many videos you do. So whatever your average rate is multiplied by your number of videos, that'll give you your income. So if you're doing 2,000 a video and you do 4 videos, you're going to be making 8,000 a month, etc. So what this shows us is there's actually 2 levers that we have in order to increase our income. We can either charge a lot more, or we can do more videos, or we can do both. And which one you should decide to grow in depends on which one you feel like is your natural strength. For example, when I was growing and I had my first 10,000 a month, like I said, I did it through mostly $250 per video videos. Now, the thing is, this is because I was just an efficiency freak and I figured out the workflows to crank the number of videos I do. Now, after I actually became a lot better at editing, I learned what it takes to charge more. So I actually ended up getting more clients that are around the 1,000 to 1,250 range. I remember the main ones that I had around this range, they were a reaction video client where you would have like the person speaking here. It wouldn't be the full body, but the person speaking here and like footage here, like a stupid clip. These videos, they were about 8 to 12 minutes long. They would take me a day and then another day for revision. So they take about 2 days. And I was charging like 1 to 1.25k per video. So this was how I continued hitting my 10k months. I eventually started charging around 2,000 a video, and I was doing 4 to 5 videos a month. That was with a client. I think they had around 40 to 50 million when they started working with me. They had around 70 at the moment. We don't work together anymore, full transparency. But then I started hitting my 10k months. through this guy. Now the thing is this me saying that you have to have multi-million subscriber channels to hit your 10K a month? No. Did I? Yes. But I mean, we've had a guy, his name's Aaron. He hit 10K a month by basically charging, I think it was like 2 to 2.5x, not 2.5x, 2.5K per video. And he was in the finance niche. So for his clients, they were making around 300K a month. But the thing is, they had like 50K subscribers. So super small channel. But because they had a business on the back end, they were able to pay a lot more. So he did it with 2 clients, he got to 10K a month. And he was at 1K when he first initially joined us for coaching. But the thing is, you need to know what do the different financial models look like and what is most realistic for you. So if you know that you're the type of person that can do really big projects and you know you've got the editing skills to be able to charge 4 or 5K per video for bigger projects, then it might make more sense for you to just do 2-3 videos a month, but you're charging 4 or 5K per video. Now, if you're someone who isn't as good at editing, maybe you're only charging like 200, 300, 400 a video right now, with the right sales and marketing skills, you could pretty easily be able to charge 1 to 1.5K per video with the exact same skills and workflow that you have. So for you, it might make more sense to be doing more videos, so learning the speed and the workflow side, and maybe charging 1.5K per video and doing more videos like that take maybe 1 to 3 days each. What's important here is you look at the different methods to get there and just see reality for what it is. I see it all the time where an editor will be making maybe $200, $300 per video, and he's making videos like once a week, or he's doing 2 videos a week, and his goal is 10K a month. It's like, dude, the math is fundamentally broken. So take a harsh look at what your income goal is and just ask yourself, what are the different ways to get there? And then look at them and say, hey, which one is most realistic for me to hit? Because that now becomes the goal. But without financial modeling, it's completely out of reach. Step 2 is going to help you actually get to these numbers without you sacrificing and losing the income you've already gotten. For example, let's say right now you're making $4,000 a month. You're doing videos that on average are $500 per video, and you're doing 2 videos a week. That adds up to $4,000 a month. Yeah. So let's say that's your current status. You might have some people that are 300, one person that's 900, but on average, you hit 4,000 a month by, let's say, these numbers. And you know that you want to go from 4,000 to 10,000 a month. Now you look at these different financial models and you realize like, hey, I'm charging around 400-500 a video right now. I get some people that are around 900, 1,000. So I think that just based on my skills, I could probably get people for 2.5, 3K if I found the right client. The best part about financial modeling is you realize you only need 1 to 3 good clients. So yes, you might feel like, oh, everyone's going to say no to my prices if I charge that much. You only need 1 or 2 people to actually say yes. So if you had the right sales and marketing skills, you would be able to find them. But let's say you were able to look at this financial model and be like, you know what? If I could get a few videos at 3K, I can imagine doing that. Like, I'm pretty good at editing big projects. Let's say you're in the IRL niche, you could edit big projects. Let's say you find a client that on average pays 3.5K. So you know your financial model is you want to be able to charge 3.5K for 3 videos a month. You now know this is what you need and this is how often you need those videos. So now all you need to do is go and find those clients. But how do you do that without sacrificing this current $500 client and the current 4K a month that you're bringing in? Because the worst thing, which you do not want to happen to you, is you try to grow, you try to scale, but what ends up happening in the process is you end up losing all your clients in the process. So let me explain the process for raising your prices in a way where that fear doesn't happen. You are never going to leave a client or drop a client, whatever it is, because that's a stupid thing to do. Instead, you're going to raise for the client. Because if you know that you want to go with a bigger client, why would you leave them, have this complete dead period where you're working with no one, hoping that you end up working with someone? It's silly. Because what happens if it takes you longer than expected to actually get another client? Well, now you're fucked. And now for the next 8 days, you might have no work. And now your income suddenly dropped by 30%. So instead, we're going to make sure we've covered the 3 conditions for a price raise. Number 1 is you need to have over-delivered on recent videos. You look at your current client and you ask yourself, the most recent videos that we've worked on, has the experience for them genuinely been worth in excess of $500 per video? Like, you should feel almost embarrassed to say you only got paid $500 for that video. That's how you know you've over-delivered. The second condition that you need to be in place in order for you to raise successfully is you need to make sure that they're ready with another video. The worst thing you could do is finish a video, feel like you're getting underpaid, and just decide randomly to raise the price. Is it any wonder that in between now and the next video that you normally would have gotten, they decided to stop working with you. So editors always say, I raised my price and they rejected me. Well, they had a whole another week until the next video. Do you think that they weren't going to look for a cheaper editor? But if you time your price raise correctly, so let's say you expect videos on a weekly basis, this is when you got the video, this is when you handed it in, and this is when you get the next video. Or let's say more realistically, like this is when they sent that first video, this is when you handed it in, this is when they send the next video, etc. Don't hand the video in and just randomly here raise the price, because what's going to happen is this time between now and the next video, they're going to go find someone that's either cheaper, and if you're not an A player, probably better in that time. But if instead of raising at this point, you decide to raise it right before they send the video, or preferably they sent you the footage and you're talking through what the brief is, and now you raise it, what will happen is they're going to think, oh shit, I need to actually get this video out. I basically have no other choice but to say yes to this guy, because by me going to find someone cheaper, what will happen is there's a small chance I might have to delay this video. And I don't want to do that. Now the thing is, in order for you to be ethical and moral while doing this, you have to let them know that you're charging this much before you started and agreed to work on the project. If you say, okay, I'm going to start working on the video, and then you decide to raise the price, you're a shit person. I don't even want to associate with you. The way you raise the price with this timing in a moral way is sort of like this. Hey man, wanted to know if you had a video ready to work on. They say, yes. Awesome. Can I take a look at the footage? They send the footage. And then you say, based on what I'm looking at, it's now going to be this much. You can say this in a nicer way. Don't say it as abruptly as this. You're going to look like an asshole. But essentially, you use this timing where you get the footage and you say it before you've confirmed to work on the video. Because by saying it at this time, they're now thinking of all the pain in the ass it's going to be to replace you, because you've already worked together, and because you've recently over-delivered, they know you're worth it. You're going to have such a higher chance of you being able to successfully raise. And the third condition, in order for us to raise our price successfully, is we want to make sure we have another client ready to work with us. Now, this is the secret that no editor follows. But what you want to do is not leave your client or even raise your price with anyone when you are free or when they're your only client. Instead, you want to actually fill their position before you've done a single conversation about the price raise. So what does this actually look like? Let's say you're that editor making 4K a month. You have a $500 client. You're doing 2 videos a week. What you would do is, let's say this is your main client. We'll put him with an M. What you would do is continue your outreach. You don't need to do a huge volume if you're a good editor, because your reply rates, etc., will be a lot higher. If you have a bad reply rate on here, you got to figure out the outreach part. But in general, you're going to be doing what you need for outreach, and you're going to be running your inbound system. Basically, whatever the hell you did to get this main client, you're going to start doing those inputs again. Because what this will do is start getting more clients to you. So you might have, let's say, 4 clients that you have that came in through inbound or outreach methods. Now, 2 of these offers might be shit. So for example, one might be like a $300 video. One might be like $150, like some measly peasant prices. One of them might be like $900 a video. Another one might be 1.1K a video. Then you're speaking to all of these clients. That's how you came around to find out how much they were giving you. Let's say this guy, it turns out it's like 8 days of work for a stupid $900, probably not worth it. But you look at this guy and you realize like, hey, this guy's videos realistically are probably going to take me 3 to 4 days. And that's me starting on it. If I dial in my workflow after a couple of videos, I could probably bring that down to 1 to 2 days. Okay, this guy's higher leverage. I'm going to get to the point that I actually close this guy. So I'm not going to drop or raise and then take on the client. I'm just going to take on the client now. And I'll explain any concerns you have, like, oh, but what if I'm too busy with work? What if, like, I'll explain your concerns in a second. You're going to take on this guy. The other 2 conditions have been met. So you've over-delivered recently and you have them ready with another video. That is when you're going to take him on. And once you've confirmed payment with him, you're going to raise the price on this guy by a substantial amount. So let's say you close this guy for 1.1K. This guy's $500. This guy's paid and you know he's going to be consistent. If you're at a point where you can take both of them on, take both of them on. But if you're at a point where you can physically only take one, what you want to do is position this conversation now towards a price raise. And you're not going to raise it by what I call a bitch price raise. So for example, if you go from 500 to 600, what's the fucking point? Like you're going to make an extra $800 a month. Congratulations. This is why editors scale so slowly and stay stuck for years. What you're going to do is raise by a an amount where you're expecting a no. For example, you might raise this guy's prices from like 500 to 900 a video, or you might raise it from like 500 to like 1.5k per video, and you just say to the guy like, hey dude, we've been working together for a while, the video's doing well, I've become a lot more busy with other work, I'm going to be charging this. Say it how it is. The important thing here is you don't ask for a price raise, you just say your new price. Like the bitchiest thing you could do is say, is it cool if we get this done for this much? So they're just going to say no. What you say instead is, my prices are now X, does that work with you? Slightly different phrasing lands a lot better from the thousands of DMs that we've tested. The reason we don't do a bitch raise, like 500 to like 600 or something like that, is because if you get a yes in the best case scenario, you still feel underpaid. For example, if you felt underpaid at 500, you're still going to feel underpaid at 600. Not much has changed. But if you felt underpaid at 500, you might feel adequately paid at 1,000. So that's why we do it by a significant raise. Truthfully, there is a chance that a person says no. This is the fear that most editors have. The reason that we have the 3 conditions of a price raise, one of them being you have other clients, is even if you have a no, you still have another client that's paying more. So even if you get a no, it's fine. Now the problem is, if you get a no, you've just lost a huge client. Because the thing is, you've basically risked the entire relationship for a measly $100 a video. Not worth it. So if you're going to risk the relationship anyways, at least make it worth it in the case that they say yes. I had an editor, his name's Artem. When Artem joined the coaching program, he was charging 1.3k per video, and he was doing one video a week. Now the thing is, he felt underpaid at 1.3k a video, and I asked him, at what price point do you feel like this would be worth it? He was like, oh, if I was charging 1.5k, I feel like it would be worth it. Now the thing is, he had a good relationship with this guy, so he had all these thoughts and these limiting beliefs about raising his prices, because he thought, what if the guy says no? I'm close with this guy, I don't want to seem like a dick, I might lose all my income in XYZ cases. So first of all, I made sure all the 3 conditions of a price raise were set up, but he wanted to raise by what I call a bitch raise. So I told him, dude, why would you risk the entire relationship for a measly $200 per video? That's stupid. Like, for an extra $800 a month, you're risking losing like 5k. It's not worth it. So I told him, dude, just raise to 2k a video. And instantly I could see on his face, and he told me out loud, dude, I'm scared he's going to say no. So I asked him, okay, are you his only editor? He said, no, but I'm the guy that does the best videos and I'm the main editor for this channel. I asked him, does he like you? He's like, yeah. I'm like, do you feel like it would be a pain in the ass for him to find another editor as good as you? And his eyes just glowed. He was like, fuck yeah, dude, he needs me. So I'm like, well, he's going to most likely say yes to the price raise, whether you say 1.5 or 2k, but there's also a chance he says no. So in the chances that he says yes, at least make it worth it. He sent the DM that we told him. Literally the next day he posted in the community, like the price raise went well. That one move took him from around 4k a month to 8k a month in literally one single DM. This is what I mean when I say it doesn't take time to scale, it takes decisions to scale. I find it so silly when editors say, I have this 10k a month goal, and I ask them, how long do you think it will take? Oh, I want to do it by next year. It's like, why would it take you a year? You're 1 to 3 good clients or good decisions away. You can get it done in a few months. Now, is this me setting the expectation that you're going to do it in a few months? No, I don't know you. You could be a fucking idiot for all I know. You're probably not by you watching this, but this isn't me making an income claim. This is me saying, let go of that belief that to scale your income, it takes time, because really, it just takes a couple good decisions. So there's going to be 2 situations that could come out of this if you raise prices in the way that I said. So you've had all of those 3 conditions met. Either the person says yes to your stupidly high price, in which case, congratulations, you've got your highest paid client. And truthfully, that concern you have that you might be busy and have a ton of work, you're right. You might be a little more strapped on time than you usually are. If you already had some free time, awesome, we fill that free time up. If you're in a situation where maybe you're scared of burning out, realize that it's completely normal for you to have the first few days, maybe a week, where you're feeling like, I'm not used to working this much. First of all, this is how you learn how to work. If you compare you when you first started editing, compare how much you used to work back then compared to like year 1 and what used to be considered hard work in year 1. You probably look back at that, at whatever year you're at now, thinking, oh my God, I can't believe that was hard work. That would literally be like a break for me now. And in the same way, whatever you consider to be hard work now, in 5 years from now, you're going to be looking back at this and be like, oh my God, I used to not even know what hard work was. So by you pushing your limits and taking on more work than you think you could take right now, you will actually increase your ability to work, meaning your burnout threshold goes higher. So don't be scared of taking on more work. Worst case scenario, if you can't actually take it on, guess what happens? You just do this process again. You take on another client. It might take you 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 conversations to find that person, but you find that person, and when you do, you look at your lowest paid client, you raise by a crazy amount again. Let's say you raised that $500 guy to 1.5k. That $1,100 client might be your new lowest paid client. So now you might raise him to 2.5k a video. So do you see how we're making these big jumps? And if the guy says yes, which truthfully 1 to like 2.5 in one jump is pretty unlikely, you might get a no by this point. No worries, you had another client that you brought on. If he says yes, you just do the process again. So like you literally just keep swapping it out until people start saying no, because that's how you raise your prices and also make sure that your income never drops. So many editors get it backwards where they start making some money. They'll hit like 3k a month, they'll hit 4k a month, they'll hit like even upwards of like 7, 8k a month. And then they take their foot off the gas. They stop outreaching because they don't have the time, which is understandable, but I'll overcome that in a second. Or they'll stop posting because they don't need the clients anymore. And then they wonder why for 6 months, a year, 2 years, they're stuck. It sounds counterintuitive, but when things are going well, when the train is moving, when the car is already rolling, that isn't the time for you to take your foot off the gas. It's when you push even harder. And the thing is, you're going to be a little more strapped on time, because once you're at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7k a month, you don't need to be outreaching 200 times a month, 500 times a month. You don't need to be. It doesn't make sense for you to. For you, all you're going to do is do the outreach methods that have the highest leverage for you. Now, what this looks like for us, I'll say with our coaching students, typically when we're bringing someone on, like an editor we're helping, they might have been sending a ton of outreach before. All we do is we look at the most effective methods and we basically say, stop doing everything else, just do this and do the minimum amount until you get the number of clients you need. Because what that means is you're not spending a ton of time because you're only doing the most effective methods, which we give them, and they're still getting the clients they need in order for this process of bringing someone else on, raising a price, swapping out whoever is the lowest paying client. They can keep doing this, and that's how they're scaling their income. And step 3, to actually be able to scale, is you need to make sure you're getting consistent videos from them. I see it all the time where an editor will be charging like $500 a video, even up to like $1,000 a video. But between how long the video takes, between revision rounds, between days that the client just isn't sending a video, they might be only getting maybe 3, 4 videos a month. And it's not because the videos are objectively taking them that long, but the videos feel like they're taking that long because the videos or the client themselves are inconsistent. And when you have an inconsistent client, your income as a result is going to be either inconsistent or capped. So in order to solve that inconsistency problem so that you can scale to 20k a month with the clients at the prices that I've shown you how to get, click this video here. I'll show you exactly how to get consistent clients from the clients that you're getting through this process.